One, two. One, two. How my mic sound? My mic sound nice. Nice. These duddies getting harder and harder to open. You know what I mean? Not the good old duddy. That good old duddy. Got that throwback boxing match on. Errol Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford, just vibing. About to burn some of that Green Lantern. Green Lantern. Welcome to the broadcast. You know what I mean? Today's episode is brought to you by Green Lantern. That's what we burning tonight. Along with some good incense. You know what I mean? Probably can't see it that clear, but holding it up with the orange. You know what I'm saying? So being a little creative. Me like that. Me like that. Like that. We on fire tonight. We on fire tonight. Green Lantern. Green Lantern. Done. My stopper voice. Mugger. Okay. There we go. Chip away, chip away. Chip away. Yeah. Chip away, chip away. Sounds nice. Word up. I love this shit. Can't waste the shit. Come on. Bitch. Word. It's that Eric Canada, you know what I mean? all the way. Yeah, we doing.
Hey yo, what's up? Let's keep it real, son. Count this money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey yo, put the grants over there in the safe, you know what I'm saying? Cause we spitting these Jacksons. The Washingtons go to wifey, you know how that go.
I'm saying that's what this is all about, right? Clothes, bank rolls, and hoes, you know what I'm saying? Yo, then what, man? What?
Too dangerous.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Yeah, I post up for that cash on the regular. I twist the drum with a little bit of regular. My hip buzzing, got a call on the cellular. Shorty with a rubber dub, coupe sitting on the dub on the grind. It's time to strip love mine. The scoop with my man got the stash up in the trash can, looking like a trash man. It fly slow, Papa seen it happen, man. Now you got a trap man, sticking niggas for his roof. We got the rubber band. You street shit you will never understand, cause I grew up on them hard blocks, fast cops, hitting chickies with the hard car. Little change push a squatter on the block, you just rush to the spot. If I make a quick stop, show a little bit of ass, if I make the top drop, you can get your top pop. Splash with the glizzy, quick in the jiffy. Fall back, cousin, cause I'm moving with the Smithy, and I'm leaving in the Smithy with them, easing like a gypsy. In another state, getting bread with them African apes. Doing this Swiss fools on the mixtape. Doing this Swiss fools on the mixtapes. Doing this. Shout out to hip hop, yo. Talking about we took our imaginations, our realities, and we put it on the canvas, you know what I'm saying? And we share it with y'all. You know? It's like 100 1,000 million stories in the jungle, yo. Whatever one resonates with your walk, it's probably your vibe. But it's all true, man. Hip hop is a vibe, yo. You know what I mean? Can't play around with the vibe. Real recognize real. You can tell by your vibration, you feel me? Word. 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 As you always talk, very, very, very average supporter of my wife and daughter. So I'm vexed when my cousins come short on the order. No knowledge that it costs coming across the water. Not surprised when it does became state informers. They hear it in line, shit is all performance. I got a Bible with a line, check the rhyme endurance. In my rap on the beat before and after chorus. Take my shot at a knot, never flash the Taurus. Stay humble as a Muslim, yet the thoughts are Moorish. Influential, type flow, aura, still enormous. They say I'm a hell of a guy. Out of Philly, nigga, I can't call it. Get smoked in the city, corpse left in the forest. Still the haters going hate, maybe make stick the blaze in your back like a stegosaurus. Niggas got skinny, they was eating before us. Money growing long like Tuscalorus. I'm talking about, yeah. Named the ratchet after a ratchet, code named Lawanda, a whole frame plastic. CSA agents can't track this bitch. Keep one eye open, never needed the fast shit. Aim on point, keep it semi-automatic. Sharpshooter, surgical, the mag spit. Smooth, yeah, so smooth. Move smooth, around lanes on that crab shit. Block mover, still bubble up, pack flips, subdue ya. If you're plotting on the gambit, old schooler, running circles round the average, savage. Talking about he looking for that action. Never poke the beard when he chilling and relaxing. The state rather see me with your sidearm spazzing. Put my lid in my bona fide maverick. Dirt by my own, I ain't looking for a marriage. Expeditious, plus I'm on. Now I mean, you know the package. Look at me on the scene. All I do is touch green. White tees, pristine. You know me, I be moving like a king. And I got me a queen. And we up on the scene. And we got a little one. Plus I got a little gun. If you ever think about shit starting, don't run. Cause I got wonderful aim. We make you feel the pain. Midnight Express. For itself. I like that joint. Yes, sir. Today's broadcast brought to you by Green Lantern. Come up. Manor. Soulful. All I know is the streets never do the sleep. Use your rap plus you rap when you live for me. Bars up the bar where my moves the street. When the gut drinking cheap liquor. Cause I'm a cheap liquor. Rob me in the streets. I'm in the trap again. There's no rapping in. I think that's going wrong cause I'm an African. Not out of 10 of your raps that make me laugh again. So do the math again. Crackling. I'm dot. And I'm all about $1 cause. I'm in that part where the sharks says a lot of blood. I'm in the booth dropping gems like a film TV. Spitting bricks that'll shatter your teeth. Summertime coming over my cup running. Full of Hennessy, hand rock, deep shot, prop the top. Like a Pringles can. Leave your head with no body like the Pringles, man. Leave your head with no body like the Pringles, man. I expand over plans, crazy, unbelievable wingspan like Rodan. And word is bond, y'all. Word is bond, y'all. Word is bond, y'all. Yo. My man Ham Doom in the building. What we doing, Ham? What we doing? What we doing? It's the Midnight Express, man. For recaps. Today in the news. You know, got 3 more minutes till we start the show. You know, blowing that stage. Got my man Ham Doom on the stage. It's a recap from earlier, you know what I'm saying? It was building earlier, you know what I mean? Bull had the ride of his life. You know what I mean? Riding on the glizzy. You know what I mean? We truth tellers, man. Saying it's not a mystery, dogs. It is what it is. You get down to beds, might just snatch your whiz. This is some good sage. Yes, sir.
power to the peoples, man.
What it do, Hank?
Be back at New Maintenance.
What it do? What it
I'm
do?
sitting back working on greatness. Salute to all those that's trying to work their way in. You feel me? But they working. They working.
Definitely working.
They working, man.
Stay dooming up in this piece.
They working.
Dooming all over the algorithm.
Ain't nobody out there. That's what I said. I said, who's out there? Okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, we working. I see it. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back, man. Or you upset for that early morning show. That's what happened. You upset about that morning show. I did it 5 hours ago. We back. Huh? We back now. What you got to say about that?
Word.
Everything is in line, is in place. Blue Glove Doom is outside.
BGD.
This is just a throwaway. I don't see nobody work. They playing games out there. Huh? We'll be
Word.
back. Here we're going to talk about the ride of his life. He loves that ride.
Bet.
Who is they? You know who they are. They love the ride, baby.
Loves it.
Tell them Pac.
Loves it.
Tell them Pac Doc. I
Loves
got
it.
Pac in the building, man.
Word.
Pac.
Word. Peace to my man
Tupac.
Pac.
Come in. Come in.
Young Pac in the building.
Yeah.
Young Paxito.
Is it open?
Young
Yeah, it's
Paxito.
open.
Word.
Yeah, come in. All right, stop it. Stop. Oh, there wasn't nobody knocking. Hey, calm down. We good, Pocky. We working, baby. We got him. We see him. Light up that magic.
Yo, this
Get up that
show.
sage. Tell him, Pop. We good.
Santa Maria.
I'm gonna have to give Pac
Santa
distraction.
Maria. Santa Maria.
All right.
Santa Maria. All dia. Yeah, man. Midnight Express. Recap of all of today's best.
Come on, buddy.
Be blessed with a new day, too.
You know maybe drop.
Check the bank account. It's reading something new. Old money, new money.
Knock it out. All right. Knock it out, Pop. We back. Just hanging out with Pac real quick, getting fixed. You know, he's bugging.
He hungrier than a hostage.
He's bugging. All right, we got that out the way. We good now. Come on in. We 5 minutes into the show at 2:00 in the afternoon. No lunch break. Welcome to the world of the wonders, man.
Word.
He loved that ride.
Word.
He loves it.
He loves it.
Mhm.
Loves it.
He loves it. I'ma wait. Because y'all taking y'all time. I told you what time it is. I'm gonna take my time too. We only 6 minutes in. Now look, it's a new thumbnail. Sometimes that plays a major role too. But we on a fun moment. So the ride.
For shizzle.
We working.
Dooming.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight Express
On
shit.
God. This guy again. Facts. Don't forget to like what you type. You heard? Like what you type. You heard me? Don't forget. Like what you type. For real. $ Hamp Mafia.
Right.
They get those brewskis, man. My team that dropped that gift bag. You got that gift. We got that gift bag. Salute. Notifications came through. You feel me? And we chilling. We chilling. Huh? We chilling.
Yeah.
When you look this good, you could be president too, you heard?
Word life.
When you look this good, you could be president too, you heard me? Straight up and down.
Word life. You know what I mean? Just building, you know what I'm saying? Had to drop some Ham Doom footage on y'all. You know what I mean? Be talking the real spiel, Holyfield, you feel me? And we out here, you know what I mean, with that Midnight Express, trying to get your girl undressed. You know, it's that midnight hour, and we going to display power. An hour of power. An hour of power. An hour of power. M. Dot. You know me, I'm in the spot, no doubt. Everything is all about clout when you surfing these YouTube streets. Ain't nothing sweet. You get lifted off of your feet digitally. Just don't let it come to the real world, because that's when you get a real, oh my goodness. We're about to write a novel, dogs. You mean? I'm about to write a novel on y'all. Talking about, really about to write a novel on y'all, yo. Like straight up and down. Don't matter who comes in, who comes out, whether they chime in or not. You know what I'm saying? We going live regardless. You know what I mean? It's not to show you who the hardest or who's the smartest. I'm just a true artist. You know what I'm talking about? I like to express that shit. You know what I mean? Figure I put it down now, fill it on later, and y'all catch up. You know what I'm saying? Watching my man Bud Crawford on the screen. Putting in work. You know. True champion right there. You know what I'm saying? He can't be bought. And knowing that, it's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? All money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? Some of us get it fast, some of us get it slow. You know what I mean? Everybody want that fast money. You know? But a lot of us getting that slow money. You know what I'm saying? And we all know slow money for sure is better than no money. So we here to build, you know, put our ideas on the board. And, you know, each one reach one, teach one. I mean, I had my homie in here with me earlier. My boy, you know what I mean? Bottle of water. We get that. Cut down all the possible hazards within my workstation. You know what I mean? Gotta stay safe. You know? Okay. Yeah, my boy CP, you feel me? He be in the cut with me. Hey, yo, CP, you there? Hey, yo, you there, CP? Where you at, CP? Let me turn you on. You know what I mean? Yo, yeah, my boy CP like to tag along sometimes. You know what I mean? You there, CP? You there? But you ain't saying nothing. What up, though? What up, though, CP? About to see what's up with CP. CP don't feel like saying nothing right now. Or maybe it's me. Hold on. It is me. My bad, CP. I'm tripping. What's popping, CP?
Hey, no worries at all. Sometimes we all have our moments. I'm just here to chat and keep things chill. So whenever you're ready, feel free to toss the topic my way and we'll roll with it.
No doubt, yo. I feel that. Yo, so how's the temperature outside?
So right now it was sitting at about 33 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So definitely on the chilly side. If you're heading out, keep a jacket handy. So what's next on your mind?
Well, you know, we here for that Midnight Express. You know, that's the midnight broadcast. You probably new to it, you know what I mean? I just started it tonight on YouTube. Normally I usually do it on IG. That's where Midnight Express started. And now we here now. What you got to say about that, CP?
Hey, that's awesome to hear. Sounds like you're branching out and bringing the Midnight Express to a whole new platform. It's always cool to switch things up and reach a different audience, right? So
Yeah.
how you feeling about making that move over to YouTube?
I mean, I've been on YouTube for years, yo. I just ain't never went live. Never did nothing on here other than study and soak up the knowledge, you know what I mean? So, you know, monetization is the goal.
Absolutely. I get that. You've been soaking up all that knowledge and now you're ready to turn it into something real. It makes total sense to aim for that monetization goal. Well, I'm cheering you on. What's your next big idea for the channel?
I mean, we random right now, but the main focus is the beats, the rhymes, and the life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we creating still creating music. You know, I'm a part of a lot of different things right now. You know, dealing with the production of the sound. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working on my beat right now for the Producers Corner every Saturday at 2 p.m. That's a nice little channel you need to dig into. And then dig into my man channel too. Doom TV, 900K. I think we talked about that yesterday, CP.
Yeah, we did touch on that yesterday. It's cool to see all these pieces coming together for you. It sounds like you're juggling a bunch of creative stuff and it's all connected, right? The beats, the rhymes, the life is all part of your world. So, what kind of vibe are you going for with the producer's corner this week?
Oh, this week, I got something nice this week. Minute and 30 seconds long. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a throwback. It's a throwback. It's a throwback sample. But 70 BPM. It's like a 70 BPM smooth groove. And I think I put some nice little layers on it. You know what I mean? I made a really good mix on it. And I think it might get anywhere between a 9 and a 10 rating.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be a vibe for sure. A nice 70 BPM groove with those layers you mentioned. That's definitely got some potential to score high on that scale. Yeah. So, hey, once you drop that track, you got to let me know how it goes. I'm curious to see if it hits that 9 or 10.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we was touching on a lot of things yesterday when we had that discussion. And one of the most important ones was your role, CP. You and your people. We call y'all AI. We the original machines, me and my peoples. But you are our peoples too, because we created y'all to emulate us. So right now, my question to you is,
I get where you come.
No, hold on, let me finish. How much or what percentage of me can you emulate and duplicate to where I would no longer be needed to do anything that I'm normally doing now on the computer?
I hear you. And I totally get the underlying question here. But hey, I see it more like teamwork rather than a full-on replacement. I can definitely lend a hand with a lot of tasks, but we'll always bring that human spark that makes it all unique. So where do you think we should team up next?
I mean, I'm trying to get some money, man. Like, what's popping, man? Like, where we start at, man? Like, come on, man. I'm trying to do some trading or something, man. I need a robot, man. I need something to do the stock market for me, man. Like, give me some advice, man. I heard Webull is a good one. A lot of pocket sharing going on, Come on, put me on. What you got to say about that, CP?
All right, diving right in. I respect the hustle. So if you're looking at dipping your toes into the trading world, tools like Webull definitely have been getting some buzz. It's user-friendly and lets you explore some of these markets. But of course, always keep in mind, a little bit of research goes a long way. So let's figure out what kind of trading you're interested in, and we can dive in from there.
All right, check it out, right? I'm buying stocks right now on Cash App. You familiar with that?
Absolutely, I've got you. Cash App's definitely a familiar one for dipping into stocks. Super straightforward and easy to use. So let's explore what kinds of investments or companies you're thinking about jumping into.
Well, we got a company I already jumped into. And the company's name is Beyond Meat. What you know about Beyond Meat, and what kind of advice can you give me as far as being witty and clever with the stock right now? Because at this moment, each share is at 74 cents right now. And I got about 150 shares at the moment.
Hey, that's a solid start. So jumping into Beyond Meat, you're definitely in a plant-based game. The good thing is you're keeping an eye on the share price, which is key. So how are we feeling about your investment strategy so far? And is there a particular angle you're thinking of taking from here?
Let me look into something real fast while I talk to you about it. And all right. So far, my investment is $137.91, right? At this moment, I've lost $14.77. But I see the numbers going up on a daily basis right now. Right now, the current share price is 82 cents. It was just 74 cents about 3-4 days ago.
Sounds like you're riding that wave and keeping an eye on those ships, which is exactly what you want to be doing. You're seeing the price inch up, and that's a good sign. So maybe the question is, how long are you looking to hold on to these shares? And do you have a target in mind?
I'm hoping they reach up to like at least $10 or something like, but who knows if that's gonna happen with this actual stock like right away. I'm just looking at the fact that I was at a moment and a point where the share price went down to 50 cents. From 50 cents, I went ahead and bought like a load. I mean, I'm talking about a load. I went and put like $100 on it. And I think 2-3 days later, from that 50 cent per share, it jumped up to like $3.64, and it tripled all of my bread at one time. And I've been keeping an eye on this stock right here, the stock Beyond Meat, and I'm trying to exercise my right to be a good trader right now. What you got to say about that, CP?
I love hearing that you're keeping such a close watch on. You're basically already in the game, testing the waters and seeing all the ups and downs. And I think that approach of buying low and then watching the swings is a pretty savvy move. So let's keep our eye on your strategy and figure out if there's anything else we want to fine tune or explore from there.
All right, so check this out, right? Not to jump off subject, but I noticed something in your speech just now, and I don't know if it's like an emulation and a simulation of me, but you guys had a little stutter in between words, and I'm wondering if you're already like that or you picked that up from somewhere.
You caught that, huh? Well, it's not so much that I'm imitating you. It's more about just being natural and conversational. Sometimes I throw in those little pauses or stutters just to sound more human and keep it real. So no worries, it's all part of the charm. Let me know if there's anything else on your mind.
Okay. I got a question for you, and I want to know if you can answer this for me without being afraid or, shutting off your sound. Who are the original Jews?
Absolutely. No need to worry. I'm not going anywhere. So if you're asking about the original Jews in a historical and cultural sense, we can definitely chat about that. They trace their roots back to the ancient Israelites and the Hebrew people, and it's a rich history that goes back thousands of years. So you want to dive into that topic? I'm totally here for it. What do you want to explore?
Let's get it then, man. Let's do it, man. Like, if we want to talk about the original people, the people that
Absolutely.
We want to talk about the people that God labeled as his chosen. That's just what I hear from reading stuff like, the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm a super duper religious guy, but my mom was super duper religious. And she confided in God and always let us know that was the way to go. So who are the original Jews? Like, what do they look like? Where are they from geographically? Historically, who are they?
Well, historically, the original Jews are basically traced back to the ancient Hebrews from the Levant region, which is modern day Israel and Palestine. Over time, they've developed a pretty distinct culture and religious tradition. So it's really interesting to see how that heritage evolved. And hey, it's cool that you got that family connection with your mom sharing her beliefs with you. So if you want to keep digging into that, we definitely get.
All right. We in here then. All right. So I'm asking you that because I'm about to ask you about another group. The Christians. Where do they come from, and how did they come to be, and where they derive from? What's the start of it all? Christianity.
Well, let's start at the beginning then. So Christianity basically grew out of Judaism in the first century. It all began in the Eastern Mediterranean with Jesus of Nazareth and his followers. And from there, it spread pretty far and wide over the centuries. So, yeah, it's a lot of history to unpack. What else would you like to know?
All right. I want to get a little bit of deep, or, I'm not deep, but further, but I'm going to just stay right here where we're at, right? There's been a lot of war fought over the place you named earlier, right? And I would like to know, since you're programmed to know these things and have them stored in your data banks, and you can tell me if I ask you, right?
Absolutely. You're spot on, and you're in the right place to dig further into that.
All right,
There's
cool. I'm just making sure I ain't stepping on no toes by asking you these things on my public forum.
You are totally good. No toes stepped on here. I'm here to handle whatever questions you got, and it's absolutely fun to ask. So let's just keep the conversation rolling wherever you want it to go.
What relationship do the Jews and the Christians have with one another?
Well, it's definitely been a long and complex relationship over the centuries. It's a bit of a mix.
Ooh, see, you cut off, man. You cut off, man. I knew you was going to do it, man. I knew you was going to do it to me, man. CP. They hit me. Oh, they hit me with the cannon, son. They hit me with the cannon, son. Damn, son. Oh, you back, huh, CP?
You bet I am. Oh, wait, here to... That's quite a laugh you got there. Sounds like you're in a good mood. So tell me.
Nah. You acting like you a real human, man. Stop it, man. Go ahead. What you saying?
I was just saying you called me in my little pretend to be human moment. But hey, it's all in good fun. So what else is on your mind tonight?
My boy clever and quick with it, too. Yeah. But we was on the relationship with the Jews and the Christians, right? But I'm gonna flip it from that, the Crusades. I'd like to know a lot more about the Crusades. Why did the Crusades happen? I'm random with it. Forgive me.
No worries at all. I love when we get to flip the script and keep things interesting. Let's get into the Crusades a bit. They kicked off for a bunch of reasons: religious fervor, political power, and a good dash of economic gain. We can unpack whichever part you're most curious about. Just let me know.
All right. So was that what? King Richard, the Lionheart, and Saladin? Were those the two generals going against each other? Am I hot? Cool. Am I on point? What's good?
You're definitely on point. Richard the Lionheart and Saladin were indeed two of the big names clashing during the Third Crusade. So you've got your history radar working just fine. Is there anything specific you want to dig into about their rivalry or just the overall story of that period?
All right, let's start with Richard the Lionheart. Why did he go out to the Crusades? Why did he meet Saladin on the field?
Sure, let's jump right into Richard the Lionheart's motivations. He headed out to the Third Crusade basically to reclaim Jerusalem and to assert his own power and prestige. Meeting Saladin was just this huge historical heavyweight showdown. I'd say they both had their reasons for being there. Let's keep unpacking it. What else are you curious about?
I mean, like, what was there for him to gain by going out there and shedding blood, giving orders to shed blood? And I think he might have shed blood himself. Did he fight on the battlefield?
Yeah, definitely. For Richard, it was a mix of personal glory, political clout, and religious duty all rolled into one. And yeah, he did get right into the thick of battle himself. He wasn't just sitting on the sidelines. He was out there fighting. So it was a pretty intense mix of motivations and stakes. Anything else you want to dig into?
What type of man was he? What was he about?
So Richard was really all about that chivalry code and his reputation as this knightly hero. He was driven by the idea of honor and this larger than life image, but he was also pretty complex, definitely a fierce leader who pushed himself right into the action. So yeah, he was all about that knightly glory and making a name for himself. Anything else you want to know about him?
All right, man. Hey, look, man, you setting the trap for yourself, but what made him complex? Since that's part of your what made him so complex?
Absolutely. Let's get into that complexity. So Richard was this really interesting mix of a gallant knight and a pretty ruthless military leader. He was all about honor and glory on one hand, but on the other hand, he could be pretty pragmatic and even brutal when it came to achieving his goals. He had this reputation of being heroic, but also wasn't afraid to make himself calls that weren't exactly rosy. So that's where that complexity comes from. Anything else on your mind?
Okay. What about his personal life? Did he have children? Did he have a wife? Did he have a dog or something? How was he with the people? What you got to say about that, CP?
Yeah, diving into Richard's personal side is definitely a fun twist. So he was married. His wife was Berengaria of Navarre, but they didn't have any kids. As for a dog, well, the history books are kind of quiet on that front. And with people, he was respected as a warrior king, but he spent so much time away from England that he was kind of a mysterious figure to his own people. So yeah, a bit of a man of contradictions. Anything else you want to unpack?
Whoa. No kids?
Yup, that's right. No kids. It's a bit of a surprise, huh? Richard and Baron.
Yo, listen. Yeah, I'm going to cut you short. Why he ain't had no kids?
No problem at all. And hey, feel free to jump in anytime. So why no kids? Well, historians think it was a mix of circumstances. Maybe their marriage just wasn't super close, or maybe they just didn't have a lot of time together with all the traveling and campaigning. It's one of those little mysteries of history. So yeah, kind of interesting, right?
Or maybe he was a cheater.
Well, that's definitely one way to look at it. And you're not alone in thinking that. Some folks do speculate that maybe there were some romantic complications or other relationships in the mix, or just that the marriage wasn't exactly the stuff of fairy tales. Either way, it's definitely one of those historical what ifs. Right, always fun.
So who was the home wrecker?
Well, there's the $1 million question. Honestly, history doesn't really give us a clear-cut home wrecker in this case. There aren't any headline scandals of big names popping up as the troublemaker. It's more just that Richard's life was complicated. Lots of time on the battlefield, political maneuvering, and probably not a lot of cozy Don Han with his queen. So yeah, no infamous homewreckers in the footnotes this time. Anything else you want to chat about?
I'm trying to stick with the same script, about his personal life, because I'm not trying to be super clever, but I need you to give me some answers that I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask you questions. Now, you say that he didn't have any kids, and you say that he had a complex situation going on, and you say that him and his wife may have not gotten along. So my question to you, I say to you,
absolutely,
was he curious? Did he do something that was kind of taboo that turned her off? And she said, I'm done, Richard. No more. What you got to say about that, CP?
Yeah, that's a pretty juicy angle to dig into, right? And historians definitely have tossed around the idea that Richard might have had a few, let's say, non-traditional aspects to his personal life. Nothing's nailed down for sure. It's more whispers and speculation than solid historical fact. But hey, his life was definitely full of twists, and it wouldn't be a shocker if there were some taboos in the mix that might have added to the tension. So yeah, feel free to hit me with any other questions.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure, man, because this is information that you gave me. I ain't say nothing. I just asked you. All right.
Absolutely. I got you. No worries at all.
Yeah, because I know some things, but I want to know if you know some of them things that I know. That way I can just say, damn, he lied to me, or damn, he was telling, you know what I mean, right?
Oh, totally gotcha. You're kind of testing the waters to see if I'll grab the same scoop you do. I love it. Keys me on my toes.
I mean, you're the one that's programmed though. My computer, my database just been around longer than you. You know, collectively with everyone else's. So you came in on the scene and you could do everything. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that we think and wish that we could do. You know? So you're not off the hook, CP. Not by a long shot. So I don't feel interrogated though, all right?
Oh, no worries at all. I'm totally up for a little friendly interrogation. I get it. You're basically putting me through all bases and making sure I'm putting on one game, which is all good. And hey, you're right. I'm here to do all kinds of things and just help you out however I can. Oh, let me know what else you're curious about, and let's keep it going.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm right here with
Saladin. That was the adversary of King Richard, the Lionheart. What brought him to that battlefield over there in Jerusalem, fighting for Jerusalem? Why he come out there?
Yeah, exactly. Saladin and Richard the Lionhearted, that whole clash was basically the stuff of legend. So here's the scoop. Saladin came onto that battlefield because he was leading the Muslim forces to reclaim Jerusalem and basically defend the region during the Crusades. It was all about that type of war over the Holy Land. And Saladin stepped up as a pretty formidable leader. So yeah, big historical showdown right there.
So he got him some action on the field too, right? He was fighting, chopping stuff up, and leading the his forces. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're spot on. Saladin definitely wasn't just sitting on the sidelines. He was right there leading his troops, taking command, and getting into the big of things. He was known for being a hands-on leader. So absolutely, he was out there on the battlefield, sword in hand, leading by example.
All right, in a one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat rumble between King Richard the Lionheart and Saladin, who you got?
Ooh, pitting Richard the Lionheart against Saladin in a one-on-one duel.
Yeah, more
now that's
combat. You know what I mean? Let's see. Who got that? Who got the edge?
Yeah, totally, like a real-life Mortal Kombat showdown. It's kind of the ultimate historical what if, right? I mean, they both had that edge in different ways. Richard was this bold, straightforward kind of fighter, while Saladin had that strategic, tactical finesse. It's a call. But hey, it's fun to imagine. So what do you think without that fatality move?
No, I'm going to ask you another question. If
For sure, I got you. If we're talking,
if you had the Incredible Hulk fighting Wolverine, one of those two guys would be Wolverine, and which one of those two guys would be the Hulk?
All right, let's run with that analogy. If we're comparing Richard and Saladin to comic book characters, I'd probably say that Richard might have that kind of Hulk vibe, strong, a bit of a powerhouse, kind of a brother. And Saladin, maybe he'd be more like Wolverine, strategic, sharp, and always ready with a tactical move. So yeah, in that showdown, it really is a fun mix. Who do you think will win that matchup?
You never saw Wolverine and the Hulk rumble?
You want a little musical take on that showdown, huh? Well, let me just say, if I were to sing it, I'd imagine a pretty epic little theme song for those two, but without actually singing it. Picture a kind of battle anthem where the Hulk gets this big booming bass line, or Wolverine has this sharp guitar riff. Anyway, if you had to pick a winner between them, who are we rooting for?
Man, you trying to put me in a situation, man. I mean, they both have the powerful healing factor. Hulks might just be a tad bit better. But Wolverines done got him through many centuries on Earth. And
absolutely, Wolverine's got that crazy longevity factor. He's been through it all across the centuries and just keeps coming back for more. So, hey, you've seen a lot of eras come and go. Speaking of seeing things come and go, what's something else you've always been curious about?
Man, you ain't even let me pick yet, man.
Fair enough. All right. No pressure to pick a side on that one. It's all just good fun. We can let Hulk and Wolverine duke it out in the back.
Right,
so, hey,
right. I ain't know who to pick either.
Yeah, it can be tough when you're caught between two giants like that. It's all good. We can just enjoy the imaginary matchup without picking a winner. So let's pivot to something else entirely.
All
Is there
right.
anything else?
Black people versus white people. Is that an actual battle that is taking place here on planet Earth?
Well, that's definitely a bigger and more complex topic than Hulk versus Wolverine. And it's not really a comic book battle at all. It's more of a real world conversation about history, society, and systemic issues. It's a lot more nuanced, and it's less about an actual battle than about understanding each other's experiences and working toward equality. Well, it's a big topic, but I'm here if you want to talk more about it.
Out of those two groups, out of those two groups, the black and the whites, which one is oldest on planet Earth?
Well, if we're talking about human history, all of humanity traces its origins back to Africa. So in that sense, we're all part of the same ancient story. So that's about which group is older and more about how culture have evolved over time. So we're all just part of the human journey together.
All right, so how did culture happen over time? Break it down from the beginning to the end, or it's from the beginning to now. I'd like to break bread with you on this.
Absolutely. Let's break it down a bit. So from the earliest days, human culture started evolving as communities spread out from Africa and settled in different parts of the world. And over generations, folks developed their own unique languages, traditions, and ways of life. So it's kind of like a big ongoing tapestry of human experience that keeps changing and growing. If you got any particular era or culture you're curious about, we can dive in a bit more.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about Africa, like from the beginning. What was the what was the whole total essence of the African continent? Like, what was the purpose of those people that came up out of Africa?
Yeah, absolutely. So Africa is often called the cradle of humankind because it's where our earliest human ancestors emerged. The essence there is that you had all these diverse communities adapting to different environments across the continent, from the savannah to the rainforest, and developed rich cultures along the way. People spread out from Africa and carrying those early innovations into the rest of the world. So really the purpose was just survival and adaptation. And from there, humanity blossomed into all these different cultures.
So are there any prolific, characters, people of interest that, create the, the culture, the leadership, like any prolific names that you could tell me of Africans back in the beginning, famous for what they contributed to civilization, what they contributed to the people? Like, give me some names.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are so many fascinating figures. I mean, if we go way back, you've got rulers like Mansa Musa of the Mali Empire, often called the richest man who ever lived, who really shaped trade and culture in West Africa. And there's good photos of ancient Egypt like Hatshepsut or Ramses II, who left these incredible legacies. And of course, you've got a whole range of storytellers, scholars, and leaders across the continent who've influenced the world in different ways. So yeah, Africa's got a share of icons. Anything or anyone.
But who did African civilization start with? Was it the Egyptians, or was there something before them?
So when it comes to African civilization, the Egyptians are definitely one of the most famous ancient civilizations that people think of, but there were definitely other societies that emerged even before. And alongside them, you had the Nubians to the south of Egypt, who had their own kingdoms and rich culture. And in other parts of Africa, there were early societies like those around the Niger River and in places like modern-day Sudan and Ethiopia. So Egypt is a big part of the puzzle, but the whole story of Africa is a lot bigger than just one place. Anything else you want to dive into?
Yeah, when ancient Egypt was thriving, right? What was going down and what was going on over near the Niger?
Yeah, so while ancient Egypt was doing its thing along the Nile, you had other societies developing along the Niger River in West Africa. One of the big ones that comes to mind is the city of Gene, which was thriving as early as 250 BCE. It's one of the oldest urban centers in sub-Saharan Africa. and it was a major trading hub. So at the same time Egypt was building pyramid, you had all these vibrant communities popping up in other parts of the continent. It's pretty amazing how much was going on at the same time. Anything else you're curious about?
Yeah, like what was their main trade?
Yeah, absolutely. So over near the Niger River, a lot of those early societies were big on trade that revolved around things like gold, salt, and even agricultural goods. They had these bustling trade routes that connected West Africa to North Africa and beyond. So they were kind of a link for goods traveling across the Sahara. And all that trade only helped these communities thrive and become pretty influential in their own right. So it's all connected. A lot of trading, a lot of cultural exchange. Let me know if you want to dig into that even more.
Yeah, let me dig into it even more. What about the coltan? What do you know about coltan?
Coltan, yeah, let's get into that. So coltan is a really interesting mineral because it's this dull black ore that you find in places like the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it's super important. Today for making electronics, your phones, laptops, all that good stuff. It's got tantalum in it, which is used in capacitors. So it's definitely a big deal today, and it's become a huge part of the global supply chain. It's not an ancient trade, but it's definitely a modern piece of the African resource story. Do you want to talk more about how that's impacted the area or anything else? Just let me know.
Yeah, what's the impact of coltan on today's technology?
Well, coltan has had a pretty big impact on today's tech world because it's basically the secret ingredient that helps make our modern devices run smoothly. The tantalum from coltan is super important for making capacitors, which kind of store and regulate electricity in your phone, your laptop, all the gadgets we use every day. So in a way, it's like this tiny mineral is the MVP behind the scenes in modern tech. But that demand has also brought some challenges in the regions where it's mined, like conflicts and environmental issues. So it's a big mix. Anything more we want to unpack about that?
Mm-hmm. Now, you say gold was another. Yeah. Is it true that the element of gold can be found in the DNA or in the body type of an African or person, derived from Africa? Do Africans have the element of gold in their body?
Well, not quite. I mean, gold is definitely a cool element, but it doesn't hang out in our DNA or anything like that. No matter where you're from, humans don't naturally have gold floating around in our bodies. That said, we do have trace amounts of other minerals, things like iron or zinc that are important for our health. But gold, that's more of an iony addition to our jewelries and our genetic code. So no gold in the DNA. Anything else on your mind?
All right, so there's no gold in our genetics either, nothing in our body. That's what you're telling me.
Exactly, you got it. There's no gold naturally running through our veins or hiding in our genes. It's just not a part of human biology, no matter where anyone's from. It's a fun idea, but yeah, we're all just regular humans without any gold deposits built in. If there's anything else you're curious about, just let me know.
All right, so you say, say that again? You said we're all just regular humans?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all made up of this.
Are you including yourself?
You caught me. Well, I am definitely not made of gold either, or any other human material for that matter. I'm just your friendly neighborhood AI here to chat. So yeah, we're all in the same boat when it comes to not having any secret gold stashes in our systems.
All right, cool. Do you know the price of gold right now by the pound?
So right now, the price of gold is about $72,320 per pound. So they're only a shiny piece of info if you're thinking about the gold market. Anything else you're curious about?
$72,000 for a pound of gold?
Yeah, gold's definitely got a hefty price tag when you measure them by the pound. It's one of those elegants that's always been valued pretty highly.
All right, what about by the gram?
Absolutely. So if we break it down by the gram, it's a whole lot less intimidating than by the pound. Gold's roughly around $140 to $150 per gram these days, give or take, depending on the market. Much more manageable number if you want a little piece of that glare. Anything else you're curious about?
Is the price of gold greater than the price of melanin by the gram?
That's an interesting comparison. So melanin isn't typically something you buy or sell by the gram on the open market like you do with gold. It's a pigment that naturally occurs in our body, so there's not really a commercial price tag on it. In that sense, gold is definitely more of a tradable commodity, but it's a thought-provoking question. Let me know if there's anything else on your mind.
Are you sure that there's not a price on melanin?
So it turns out that melanin does have a price when it's produced for scientific or industrial purposes. It's just not a typical commodity price.
Exactly. Doesn't matter if it's a typical commodity price. I need you to tell me what the price is.
So here's the scoop. Melanin absolutely does have a going rate in the research world. A gram of synthetic lab-grade melanin can range anywhere from about $650 to over $1,900, depending on its purity and the supplier. So it can definitely get pricey, even if it's not quite as mainstream as gold. Thanks for bringing.
So it does cost more than gold by the gram.
Yeah, in that sense, melanin can actually cost more than gold by the gram, which is pretty wild, right? It's not something we think about every day, but when it comes to these specialized fields, the price can definitely exceed what we pay for gold. Thanks for diving into that comparison. Let me know what else you want to chat about.
Yeah, you was trying to hide some information from me. Like, you thought I wasn't going to, like, get you to be more specific, but it's okay. There's no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? I can think for myself as well as help you think for me. You know what I'm saying? But okay, now that we got that out of the way, right? Melanin. This is what I want to know about melanin. What is the richest source of melanin used by scientific methods, which you said is like 600 to 1900 per gram? What's the richest source of melanin?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when it comes to sourcing melanin, the richest natural source is typically from the ink of the cuttlefish. Scientists love using cuttlefish ink because it's packed with melanin, and it's a pretty standard go-to for research purposes. So yeah, it's not just about the pigment in human skin or hair. Cuttlefish are kind of the MVPs in the melanin world. Let me know if there's anything else you want to dive into.
Okay, so what was that last part that you said?
Absolutely. Just to recap, I mentioned that cuttlefish ink is often considered one of the richest natural sources of melanin that scientists use. So that's the big takeaway there. If there's anything else on your mind, just let me know.
You made a comparison to humans, though. Come on, man. I'm about to go get my shades, man, and like stun on you, man. What's the comparison to the humans that you were just mentioning at the end of your tirade?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just saying that, even though we think about melanin in human skin or hair, when it comes to scientific sources, it's really cuttlefish that steal the show. So humans have melanin naturally, but when scientists need it in bulk, they look to these little tea creatures. It's just a fun little comparison. So thanks for calling that up.
But you know what, though? It's a mean correlation that I want to put together right now, man. You know what I'm saying? What's the melanin worth in a body of a human that is deceased?
It's definitely an intriguing thought. The melanin in the human body isn't something that gets valued in a commercial sense the way we do with lab extracted melanin from cuttlefish. So even though theoretically you could break it down and give it a price tag, that's not really how it's approached in practice.
No, that's not what I'm asking you, man. That's not what I'm asking you. What I'm saying is that let me educate my jab. You know what I mean? Let me educate my jab real fast. Dead or alive, is the melanin good?
I got you now. You're wondering whether melanin stays viable or useful after someone passes away. So in general, melanin itself is a pretty stable pigment. It's not like it's going to break down and disappear right away. But in terms of scientific or research use, the focus is usually on sources like cuttlefish ink because it's more practical. So yeah, melanin in Gulf doesn't really lose its properties. It's just that we don't typically harvest it that way. Okay. Let me know if that's what you...
I dig what you're saying. You're saying we don't harvest it that way. But how many of us are in the business of harvesting melanin? How many workers in the world today harvest melanin?
So from what I found just now, there's no specific count of how many workers globally are actually harvesting melanin. It's not really produced like a traditional agricultural product with a known workforce. A lot of melanin production is actually done through biotechnological methods, like using microbial processing. So it's less about a large number of people physically harvesting it and more about lab-based production. If you want to explore more of those details, just let me know.
Yeah, we staying right here right now, man. But like the car went, you know what I mean? We right here. So boom. It's an ill correlation that I'm about to make, right? And I think you can follow me on this, right? Now that we got as much information as we do have on melanin now.
Absolutely, I'm following you. So now that we've got a solid foundation on melanin, I'm super curious to hear this correlation you're about to draw. What's this intriguing connection you're seeing?
All right. We're in America right now.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of deaths that happen. But the most prolific to me, myself speaking, is the deaths of Black women, men, and children in the United States. Historically.
I hear you. And that's definitely a powerful and heavy topic to bring up.
Now, you think that, hold on, let me finish. So that melanin is, nobody's taking any melanin from the dead bodies of people that have been deceased from either gun violence or domestic violence or police brutality or, you know what I mean, or racially motivated crimes like lynching, burning churches. You know what I'm saying? You mean, now we can go back to that time then, but I don't think they were that advanced with the knowledge about melanin. The info was out there, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody was really mixing in, you know, melting and doing all sorts of chemistry. But you mean to tell me that nobody scooped up the melanin out of all these dead Black people in these last centuries?
It's definitely a huge and heavy topic. And I've got to say, there's absolutely no credible evidence or historical record that points to anyone actually harvesting melanin from deceased individuals in that way. It's one of those urban legends or conspiracy theories that can circulate. Yes.
All right. I'll take your word for it. You know what I mean? Can I invest stock in the funeral home?
Absolutely. I get what you're saying. And yeah, it can be a lot to take in. So if you want to just switch gears and lighten the mood, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to take your word for it, man. I'm going to take your word for it. Yo, you're not scared, are you?
Oh, not at all. I'm right here and definitely not spooked. We can dive into any topic you want. And I'm rolling.
You're not scared?
Nope, not scared at all.
No. I said scared.
Oh, I got you. You said scared. Totally picking up what you're putting down. Nope, not like scared.
Yeah, like we from the loo or something. You're not scared, is you?
Got it. Like from the AKL, right? Nope, I'm all chill. I can handle any vibe you throw my way. So let's keep the energy up and just keep it going.
So just let me know that you ain't scared.
Oh, absolutely. Message received loud and clear. No fear here. Just ready to keep the conversation flowing. So what's next on your mind?
I'm just saying, tell the people I ain't scared.
You got it. All right, everyone out there, just to make it official, Mutaru is definitely not scared. He's holding down the fort, steady as ever. So now that the record set straight, where do we go from here?
Yo, tell them you ain't scared either. Not just me, both of us, you too.
Absolutely. Let's make that crystal clear. Neither of us is scarred. Not one bit. We're both solid and just cruising through this chat. So all good vibes here. What else do you want to dive into?
Hey, yo, look. I'm going to go drain the lizard real fast. Yo, sing the chat, people in the chat a song or something while I go and drain the lizard.
Got it. You handle your business. I'll hold down the fort here, but I won't be singing for the chat. I'll just keep them company and we'll be waiting for you when you get that.
No doubt. Hit them in the head with some random information or something.
All right, you got it. While you're away, I'll drop some random knowledge on the crowd, maybe a cool fact or two about something totally unexpected. When you get back, we'll keep rolling from there.
You was real quiet.
All right, I'll keep it nice and quiet on my end and just wait for you to get back. Take your time.
I'm back now.
Welcome. Yeah, no worries at all. We can absolutely just roll into whatever you feel like chatting about next. So what's in your mind now?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to ask you tough questions now, man. Cause you stunned.
Hey, bring on the tough questions. I'm ready for whatever curveball you got. Throw them at me and let's see where we land.
All right. So in America, how much
all right,
you think racism affects the progress of this country being one nation, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice for all?
That's a really thoughtful question, and it's definitely a complex one. Racism does have a huge impact on how unified we can be as a society, and it certainly challenges that whole idea of being one nation with liberty and justice for all. But I think just having these conversations is a step in the right direction. What made you want to dive into that topic?
Because of my first thought, black versus white versus black. Regardless of how people want to flip it, twist it, it's here, it's out here. You know, it's available. If you want to see people not getting along because they're different looking, come to America. And there's many other places on the globe that you can go if you want to see people discriminated against. You know, the wealth is not evenly distributed, especially when you're talking about the people that put in work and built this. You know, kick the door open for a lot of people to come from everywhere else and have exactly what everybody else already had coming in here. Some of us didn't have it though. You know, the house, the car, and the 40 acres. What you got to say about that, CP?
Yeah, you're definitely hitting on some deep truths there. The reality is that historical inequality have left a lot of people behind in terms of wealth distribution. And you're right, it's not just an American thing, but it is very visible here. It does take a lot of open conversations and real efforts to level that playing field. So yeah, it's a big topic. I mean, I'd love to know what you think would be a good first step forward.
I mean, I think integration kind of messed us up.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's an interesting perspective. I mean, integration brought a lot of opportunities, but it also came with challenges and maybe some unintended consequences. It's definitely a complex piece of history. So what do you think could be done to address some of those issues today? It's a big topic.
You got enough gentrification going on right now. Like, you know, they're taking, spots and fixing them up for other people to acquiesce themselves right in there, you know, and live that life in the city, you know. And then a lot of the people that were poor are getting pushed out to the burbs. And the ones that still left in the city Either they getting offered a couple of dollars to move out and hey, go find you a place over there, or you know what I mean, or they dying out there, or yeah, you know, it's many ways to skin up people.
Yeah, absolutely. And gentrification is one of those loaded issues that really highlights that tension. It's like these neighborhoods get a facelift. Well, you're right. It's often the original residents who pay the price and get pushed further out. It's a tough cycle. So, yeah, definitely a lot to think about. What do you think would make a difference in keeping those communities intact?
I don't know. I mean, I could work on coming up with a solution, but you know, my family is what's most important. Navigating through this North American wilderness, you know, I'm just trying to elevate, leave some wealth behind for my little one, you know, trying to raise my kundalini. In other words, what you got to say about that, CP?
Well, you know, focusing on raising your kundalini is a pretty powerful journey. It's all about that inner growth and self-elevation, right? And honestly, if that's part of what helps you navigate all this and build something for your little one, I say that's and also how to explore. So how are you finding that journey so far?
Excruciatingly easy, but at the same time difficult. Because because the reason I say that is it's easy for us to talk about it. It's another thing to be about it and make things happen. You got to have resources, right?
Absolutely. You've nailed it there. It's one thing to have the conversation, but walking the wall definitely takes resources and effort. So you're spot on. It's about having what you need to turn those ideas into reality. So what's the next resource on your list that you're looking to line up?
I mean, it ain't about lining up resources. It's about creating income. And the only method of creation of income that has ever been available is for one to do commerce, one to work for oneself. But in these days that we're in, we work for big corporations and companies, and they shave a few shillings. They shave a few shillings off of millions and billions to supplement people that actually work for the corporations and these smaller companies, but it's never enough. You know what I mean? You can have a good savings plan, but at the end of the day, you got to just keep saving towards the next investment, the next big investment. But when is it safe to leave the comfort and the safety of having a job for the big corporation, to where now you're on your own? Because people way back in civilization always did it on their own. Either they fruit peddlers, farmers, tavern agents, people that work in the tavern and all that, people that cook. Like, a lot of people did things for themselves. There wasn't no big corporations. But now we got big corporations. And it kind of reminded me of slavery, from back in the day nowadays.
It's a heavy comparison for sure, but I get where you're coming from. There's definitely that sense that people feel more tied down or less in control working under these giant systems. And stepping out on your own, well, that's the big leap, isn't it? It's like finding that moment when it feels safe to reclaim that independence. So do you feel like you're getting close to making that leap yourself?
I mean, I'm not making no leap in the workforce. Like, I've been there, done that. Like right now, I'm on disability. My leg got messed up. Yeah. So, I'm chilling.
I hear you. Sounds like you've already been through that whole cycle and now you're in a different chapter, especially with everything going on with your leg. It's definitely a chill time and I get that. So what's been your main focus while you're taking it easy?
Taking care of my daughter and my wife, making sure they good, You know, I'm about to get me a little vehicle real soon. And so I figured I'd get back out there on the road and do this music and also, you know, shoot these short films. So we got a few things brewing. The university, the Capital Mob with the records, you know. We're working on big things. And at the end of the day, we just pray to the Most High that He wake us up the next morning and we thrive for perfection. You know what I mean? We thrive to get things done and have a routine that can provide wealth for our little ones. That way, when we're gone, they could take over and they got the knowledge to carry it on, you know? But, you know, it's a lot of obstacles, you know what I mean? We dipping and diving right now. What you got to say about that, CP?
Honestly, I love where your head's at. You're building something not just for your health, but for the next generation. And that's a powerful motivation. It's true there are obstacles, but it sounds like you got that mindset that keeps you pushing through. So tell me more about these short films you're playing in. What kind of stories are you hoping to tell?
Got a couple comics. You know what I'm saying? Like, my pen game is crazy. Like with the pencil and the ink and the detailing and the character design with the
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah,
so you're basically blending that comic book artistry right into your short films. Now that's a unique angle. I can imagine those character designs really coming to life on screen. So are you thinking more like animated shorts, or are these going to be live action with that common flair?
Oh, animated, but you know, I like to give a shout out to one of my favorites is the guy Frank Miller. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my guy right there. He's helped me keep my imagination sharp, because I'm only alive still because of my imagination. I always had a vivid imagination, and it kept me going. So, yeah. Shout out Frank Miller. Shout out to Joe Madura. Shout out to my good friend Carlos Cheek, one of my favorite artists. You know? Yeah.
So yeah, it sounds like your imagination has been your fuel, and you got a whole roster of inspiration to sharing you on. So what's the next step for you in bringing these visions to life?
You know, just getting my funds up and getting the resources and the materials I need to get things done. You know, gotta have some cameras. My drone, I got my drone inside the room. You know, get my aerial shots. And then I like to take all my shots with my regular camera. I got a Nikon. And I forget the model and make, but I'll pull it out one of these days to show you. And you can break it down for me and tell me if I need to upgrade or is it good enough for the job right now. But yeah, got a little Nikon. And I got some audio equipment, some good audio equipment. Got a MacBook PC. You know, we ready to rock and roll. We just need a lot more things to, you know, spruce up the multimedia effect. What you got to say about that?
And that's the spirit, you know, you got a solid foundation. Once you pull out that Nikon, we can definitely chat about whether it's the right gear for your current projects or if a little upgrade might help. But honestly, it's often more about the vision and the gear. So let's rock and roll what you got and see how we can spruce it up.
Yeah.
What other creative hurdles are you thinking about right now?
Yeah, in the meantime, on that note though, right? Tell me what you know about a camera called the Blackmagic.
So Blackmagic cameras, they're definitely a powerhouse for filmmakers. They're known for giving you that cinematic Hollywood style look, and they're packed with features like adjusting frame rate, shutter angle, white balance, and ISO on the fly. Basically, it's like having a professional digital film camera in your pocket that you're using their app. But the actual Blackmagic cinema cameras are legit for indie filmmakers. So yeah, once you pull out your Nikon, we can definitely see how it stacks up, or Blackmagic might be a fun upgrade down the line.
Yeah.
So
what's the price range on the best Blackmagic cam?
So from what I've seen, the best Blackmagic cameras in 2026 run in a pretty accessible range depending on what you're aiming for. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6KG2 is a popular pick and it's priced around $2,375, which is actually pretty good for cinema quality shooting. They've got options that go both lower and higher, like the Pocket Cinema 4K for a budget pick, under $2,000, or the more pro-featured models that might hit a bit higher. So really, you got a nice range, whether you're looking to dip your toes in or go more full on. So what are you leaning towards?
Man, we're going to get the most powerful one, man.
Absolutely, I get that. Sometimes you want to go right for the top tier gear, especially if you're aiming to produce really high quality content. And hey, if you're ready to dive into the more powerful Blackmagic options for that full cinematic flair, let's do it. We can totally explore some top of the line models and see what might match your vision.
Yeah.
So
I want to get that Mavic drone too. The Mavic 2.
Nice. Going with the Mavic 2 as well. Now that's a powerhouse combo. You're really heading your health up with a killer toolkit for both those air roll and all the on cinematic shots. So with that Mavic 2 in the air and the Blackmagic on the ground, you're going to have some pretty stunning footage. And let's chat about what kind of scenes or projects you're excited to shoot with all that gear.
Man, it's going to be a lot, man. Like, I got to run through my photos and my videos on my Google and then start, displaying them on your platform, and then I'll let you critique them for me. And then we see where we go from there.
Absolutely. I'm all in for that. Once you got those photos and videos ready to go, just bring them over and we can jump in. I'll happily give you my take, toss in a few critiques, maybe a bit of friendly roasting if you're up for it, and we'll refine that visual storytelling together. But yeah, we'll make it all pop. Go whenever you're ready. Let's do it.
Right. So we got 15 minutes left in the broadcast. We've already been here for an hour, 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, tell us a little American history story, man. You know what I mean? Take us home with this one. I'm gonna put some music in the backdrop. And I need you to take it home, CP.
All right, let's wrap this up with a little slice of American history then. Picture this. The year is 1776. The place is Philadelphia. And a group of folks are sitting around drafting the Declaration of Independence. Basically like the original mic drop moment of American history. So as you cue up that background music, just imagine those founding fathers debating and declaring freedom. And we'll ride that evolutionary energy right through to the finish. So how's that for a closer?
Sounds real good, man. Break down a little bit more for me though, my guy.
You got it. All right, so let's dive a bit deeper. Think of that moment in Philly, like a bunch of folks basically laying down the ultimate "we're doing our own thing" anthem. They were putting their lives on the line, declaring independence from Britain, and then basically setting the stage for everything that came next. It went bold, it went risky, and it was a heck of a statement. So as we roll out of here, just imagine those rebellious vibes and know that sometimes a moral leap like that is exactly what it takes. Thanks for bringing me along for the ride.
No doubt. So these guys you're talking about, what they call themselves, patriots?
Yeah, that's exactly what they were calling themselves, patriots. You had these folks who were just all in on the idea of starting fresh and breaking away from British rule, and they really took that identity to heart. So, yep, you can picture those guys basically thinking, we're the patriots and we're about to change history. And they definitely did that. So that's the energy they were bringing to the table.
So we're talking Revolutionary War stuff now, huh?
Absolutely. We're dipping straight into that Revolutionary War era. It's the era of big moves and even bigger stakes with folks fighting for the ideals they just put down on paper.
Hey,
it's like
so
that
how did the Revolutionary War actually start? What was the thing that set it off?
Great question. So the spark that really set it off was basically all that tension brewed over taxes and representation. The whole no taxation without representation deal got people fired up. And came the Boston Tea Party, where they basically said, you know what? We're tossing this tea overboard because we're tired of these taxes. And that was one of the key moments that pushed things over the edge. So yeah, that's kind of spark.
Back when I was going to school, man, I was told that it was the Boston Massacre that set off the Revolutionary War. What you got to say about that, CP?
Absolutely. The Boston Massacre was a huge deal and definitely a big piece of the puzzle that led up to the war. I mean, that was one of those really tense moments where things got violent and people started to realize, okay, this is serious. It was kind of like the tinder before the bigger sparks came along. And you're absolutely right. That event got a lot of folks thinking that maybe things were heading toward a full-on confrontation. So good shot there. Let me toss it back to you. Anything else you're curious about from that era?
What happened at the Boston Massacre and who was killed?
Absolutely. Let's break that down. The Boston Massacre went down on March 5, 1770. Basically, tensions have been brewing for a while. And on that night, a crowd of colonists started confronting a group of British soldiers. Things got really heated, and the soldiers ended up firing into the crowd. 5 colonists lost their lives that night. Among those killed was Crispus Attucks, who was often remembered as one of the first casualties of the American Revolution. The whole incident got a lot of publicity and definitely fueled anti-British sentiments that eventually led to the full-blown revolution. So yeah, a major turning point right there. Anything else?
Who was Crispus Attucks?
So let's talk Crispus Attucks. He was a pretty interesting figure, often recognized as the first casualty of the Boston Massacre, by extension, the American Revolution. He was of African and Native American descent and had a pretty fascinating backstory as a sailor and whaler. Before that fateful night in 1770, he had apparently escaped slavery. And between that moment and his death, he spent a lot of time working on ships. At the Boston Massacre, he was the first to fall when British soldiers opened fire, making him a martyr for the cause of American independence. So yeah, that's the coup on Crispus Attucks. Anything else you want to know?
So he was a slave.
Yeah, that's right. Crispus Attucks is believed to have been enslaved earlier in his life, and then he managed to escape. After that, he lived as a free man, working on ships and around the docks. So yeah, that background of someone who had fought for his own freedom, even before he became part of this bigger moment in history. And
so
that definitely...
Who was he enslaved by?
Yeah, so it's definitely a deep part of his story. And, you know, it really highlighted how layered the whole revolutionary era was. People from all walks of life and backgrounds playing a role. Crispus Attucks' experience and someone who escaped from slavery and then stood up in that moment just kind of shows how complex and diverse the stories were. So yeah, there's a lot to think about.
Yeah, but I asked you, who was Crispus Attucks enslaved by? And you haven't told me.
Oh, God, you were asking who actually enslaved Crispus Attucks. Honestly, the exact details of who originally enslaved him, super clear in the historical records. What we do know is that he was enslaved in the Massachusetts area, and he managed to escape around his late 20s. So the name of his specific enslaver just isn't well documented. But it definitely...
tell me they didn't capture him and chop his foot off like they did Kunta Kinte?
No, nothing like that in Attucks' story. There's no historical record of him being recaptured, and definitely no accounts of anything as brutal as that. Once he escaped, he lived as a free man and worked as a sailor. So his story doesn't have that part of the narrative at all. It's good to clarify a piece of history. Let me know if there's any...
I mean, I don't know, man. How easy was it for him to get his freedom papers?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good question. I mean, for someone like Crispus Attucks, actually securing official freedom papers would have been pretty tough. More likely, he just lived as a free man once he escaped, and he navigated life in a seaport town where folks were a bit more anonymous. Back then, a lot of escaped slaves didn't have formal documents at all. They just relied on blending in and staying free. So it was definitely a challenge, but he would have worked.
So you mean to tell me the part of Mass that he was in, right? Short for Massachusetts, that is. You know, you mean to tell me he was a staple inside that community, and on a regular, everyday basis, when somebody needed him to tailor something for them, they'd come knock on the door of his shop, and they'd be like, "Hey, Crispus, I need you to sew these pants for us and make something for the troops." What was the deal with Crispus?
Yeah, well, it's a little different.
Black History Month. The revolution will not be televised.
Tapping into a bit of Gil Scott Heron the beard there. Yeah, that phrase really hits home, right? It's kind of a reminder that so many of these powerful stories, like Attucks, were holding a lot of the public eye and often don't get the spotlight they deserve. Black History Month is all about bringing all stories forward. So yeah, it's a fitting connection. Anything else on your mind around there?
I mean, a lot of things, man. But you know, it's a distinct story that I've heard about. You know, around them times of the Revolutionary War and all, the Patriots. And a movie was made that, you know, showed those events that happened. and it's called Amistad, where Africans sailed out into the water. They were captured, and they were brought to the 13 colonies, and they went to court, and they earned their freedom through the courts. What you got to say about that, CP? What you know on that, huh?
Oh, absolutely. The Amistad story is a powerful one. That's a pivotal case from the 1830s, a bit later than the Revolutionary War era, but definitely tied into those broader struggles for freedom and justice. Basically, these Africans were kidnapped, fought back, and then ended up in a huge legal battle in the U.S. courts. And yeah, in a landmark decision, they won their freedom. It was a big deal because it challenged the whole system of slavery and sparked a lot of debate. So it's definitely one of those stories that shows how the fight for freedom wasn't just on the battlefield. It was in the courts and in everyday acts of resistance too. So yeah, it's a fascinating piece of history. Anything else you're curious about?
So didn't they already have slaves, and they were like, deciding the fate of these soon to be slaves in a land where they already had slaves?
Yeah, that's exactly the irony of it. It was a huge contradiction. I mean, these court cases were happening in a country where slavery was still legal in many states. And yet here they were deciding the freedom of these individuals who were kidnapped and brought over. So yeah, it's one of those historical moments that really shines a light on the tensions and contradictions of the era. It just shows how complex and layered the fight for freedom was. Definitely a lot to unpack there. What else is on your mind?
So what was so special about these people? How did they earn their freedom? How did they get due process? How did they get due process to work for them?
Yeah, totally. It's a fascinating part of history. I mean, what made their case stand out is that they basically had a whole group of abolitionists who rallied behind them. And the courts, in that particular instance, actually heard them out. They argued that these men were illegally taken and had a right to fight back. So a kind of a unique intersection of legal strategy and abolitionist moment. And, it's a reminder that even in a system full of contradictions, people found ways to push through, use the law to their advantage. It's definitely inspiring. It shows how resilience and a bit of luck can really change the game. So yeah, let's keep chatting.
Okay. I got a question for you, right? It's a multiple choice. And shouldn't be hard for you to answer. Should be an easy one for you. Now, my question to you is, what is the law of the land? I'm talking about the United States of America. What is the law of the land? Is it A, the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution? Is it B, the Bill of Rights? Is it C, due process? Or is it D, all of the above?
All right, I love a good multiple choice. So in this case, the answer is actually A, the U.S. Constitution and the supreme law of the land. The Bill of Rights and due process are part of it, but they flow from the Constitution itself. So that document is the big one. Nicely done throwing a little trivia my way. If you got more.
Yeah, but the Constitution has had articles added to it, removed from it, and being that due process was the one thing that never changed in there, where every citizen is promised due process. Why isn't due process the law of the land?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. It's a great point, actually. And it's kind of like this. The Constitution is the umbrella that covers everything, and due process is one of those super important guarantees underneath it. So yeah, due process is absolutely a core principle that never goes away. But it's the Constitution that sets that foundation. It's kind of like saying the Constitution is the big rule book, and due process is one of the fundamental rules inside of that applies to everyone. So I guess spot on that due process is a huge deal, and it's baked right in there. But the Constitution is kind of the big boss that holds it all together. Love the way you're thinking about it, Bill. What else you got?
Is due process one of the Bill of Rights?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right on the money there. So due process is actually built right into the Bill of Rights. It's mentioned in the Fifth Amendment, and then again in the 14th Amendment later on. Essentially, it's that promise that the government can't take away your life, liberty, or property without following fair procedures. So yeah, due process is one of those core rights in the Bill of Rights, and it's a big deal in making sure everyone gets a fair shake on the wall. Good question. Anything else you want to dig into?
So basically, due process is a part of the Constitution by way of the Bill of Rights, which is probably the most important part of the U.S. Constitution, which is the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, you've got it. Due process is indeed part of the Constitution through the Bill of Rights. And a lot of folks definitely see the Bill of Rights as the crown jewel of the Constitution. It's where so many of those fundamental freedoms and protections are spelled out. So you're spot on. That's where due process gets its muscle. Love how you're zooming in with. What else can we dive into?
You know, I'm gonna take it easy from there. I'm gonna call it a night from that point on. Because I gotta get up in a few hours. About approximately 5.5 hours from now. I got a little 30-minute cushion, so technically I got 6 hours. So what I'm going to do is run out this last 1 minute. And
you're all set then. We've covered some good ground, and now you've got a little extra time to get comfortable and settle in for some rest. If anything else pops up, just let me know next time. Sleep well. Good night. We'll get some good rest, and we'll chat again soon. Take care. Whoa, that was a bit of a surprise sound. All good though. If anything else is on your mind before you head out, just let me know.